Hello everyone. So I'm just making a random reading that I felt inclined to make, and I thought it would be interesting for like a pop culture media or whatever. But I'm making a reading about. First, I wanted to make about Gege as a character, sorry, creator, but then I was like, okay, let's make a reading about what is Suguru Geto as a character. And I want to say already that there's first of all, I want to make a disclaimer that this is just for entertainment purposes and nothing much as anything more. And anyone can believe whatever they want to believe, okay? But I feel like Ghetto is very representative of Gege as a person, as a human being. It's a very, I feel like it's a very tight character to humanity itself, but also the being. So what I want to say is that as a core, a whole, I already got the impression. Basically, like I'm saying, I'm a psychic reader. I don't read the cards as they are, as they go. I just put them on down there, and I get the whole impression. The whole impression is basically that Gege portrayed Suguru Geto as literally like part of his kokoro, like heart, meaning, and he has a very deep meaning. He has a very deep meaning connected to humanity. He has a very deep meaning connected to himself, and I would say that he represents him very deeply. And the part of it is because he's like character that's searching for humanity, character that's searching for also the sorcery, about the witchcraft. It's like Gege is searching for the witchcraft. He's searching for the like a true essence of sorcery, or even something close to it, like seeking the truth. And Ghetto is seeking the truth. He's seeking the very essence, and he's doing it through diminishing the others and through sort of defense, drawing the line. Drawing these lines is like the contour, and this is what Gege feels like. He feels like it towards the humanity as it is. He feels like it's the whole of it. He feels like it's the like there's this framework surrounding that, the humanity. There's this framework. Like the description of monkeys, right? It's like the framework. It's one of the depictions of that framework. While at the same time, it's not really it. It's more, I just heard metamorphosis. So it's more of a, it's more of a abstract meaning. With this card, life is a canvas. It's like he manifests whatever is true into life. He manifests it. And what I feel is that I feel like Gege as a creator certainly has manifestation powers. And with the called card, interesting that I noticed it now. He's called to writing this, but at the same time, he could say that he's not called. It's because it's like kind of like on the edge, in the middle. It's like he's not really called to write it down, but he is at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, with the witch card, and with the witch card, this very much represents Gege's as author's wish for representing the sorcery, the Jujutsu Society. He is very keen on sorcery, on witchcraft, on reinventing and finding what it is, what it represents, what it truly is, what it truly represents. And it's not really like an awful being that it truly represents. It's different. It's like it's differing. The Chiromancer, this very much represents the character Geto. Um, it almost gives me the impression that he feels people's lives. He feels what they've gone through. This is why he takes on those roles. He takes on those representations. He takes on those different characteristics. That's so interesting. The ghetto takes on those different characteristics that the people are presented. It almost gives me the impression like he took on the, for example, characteristics of Nanami to represent him, took on characteristics of somebody else to represent them. It's like he took it all in a bunch and he represented them. So basically, what Geto is, he represents the Jujutsu Society. He represents them. He really took the authority. He represented them. In a way, with the meaning. With the meaning to be called to disrupt the society, to disrupt the negligence. Especially with this thief card. It's like the humans were so like they have these rings and they were so entitled or like elitist, kind of like owning the rings, owning the stuff, and he disrupted it, disrupted the negligence. I don't know if I'm saying this word right, I'm just hearing that word. It's like the karmic consequence, but not really karmic. This gives me like this thing would be the hole that sucks everything in. And like you can't disrupt it. It will still suck it in. It almost gives me the impression that the being a jujutsu in jujutsu society does not let you to breathe freely. You just go through this change and you have to enter this hole. It's like a black hole that sucks everything in, but it's not really like a black hole. It's like this energy. It's huge energy blob. It sucks everything in. Yeah, losing your grip. He wishes that the fan. Okay, I feel like he wishes that the fans would loosen their grip and just fall with him in the flow. Sort of like he wishes that the people would fall with him within the flow that he writes. It's like he's writing within the flow. He wishes that people would sorta follow him into that dance of creating, of writing in the flow. Instead of being so rigid, ridiculous. I heard ridiculous. Instead of being ridiculous. So that people would be falling into the flow. And this is him. This is like people. So they would like fall within him, next to him. You know? You know what I mean? Like follow the flow, follow his thread of a thought, of a creative process, this creative thing, this junction, this creative junction. So they would follow it. Six of Swords, Queen of Swords. It's partially like a healing story. It's partially a healing story. He speaks the truth. He speaks the truth. He speaks a feminine truth, if I might say so. Something about his mother comes through. His mother spoke the truth. There's something that his mom said to him in childhood or something like that in teenage years. It really stuck to him. And this little seed of thought is going through, it's affecting it. It's kind of like kicking the process further. He's meant to heal people. He's meant to heal souls. He's meant to make people understand what they're being. But it feels vomit inducing. It feels like it's just wrong. I'm hearing it's just wrong. Maybe like people think it's just wrong. But it's healing. Nevertheless, it's healing. Healing journey, healing process, healing juju. It's, you know, I see these like lines flowing through the map, and they're like the system, like the roots, or like the blood, what are they called, vessels, and it's flowing through the healing, flowing through it, but people think it's disgusting, or like people think it's just wrong. Jump in. This just this is so weird. It's like the first time I'm getting this, but this card really just represents the Shonen Jump to me. I don't know. It's so weird. First time I feel that the card represents the house they're in. You know, like the house they're in. I don't feel like he agrees with everything though. That's kind of funny. He's always wandering. He's always onto his own thing, I feel. He's always onto his own thing. Flowing through it, just getting through it, through these waters, through this flow. And he's expecting people to understand. It's not like he's overly individualistic. I kind of got it too, but he's not. It's like he's expecting people to understand. He really is. It's like it's ephemeral. It's kind of like transient, transparent, if I could say so, somewhat. He's expecting people to understand. He's not wondering what they feel about it. He's more so wondering, do they understand? Like mindful. Are they understanding? Do they know what I meant? And he's curious about it. About that part. Let me see. What else can I... It doesn't feel like he's like giving up on fans or stuff. He's like, come on, you following me? Do you follow me? Do you follow me? Do you know what I mean? He's very not materialistic, by the way. He's very not like hedonistic, not materialistic. I feel like this guy, this man, it's very interesting. It's like he's living in the material sphere, very material sphere. I can feel it. But within it, and how can I even paint this? How can I explain this? It's like, okay, it's like, you know, like it's colored, this picture with these objects, It's like in the middle of these objects, there's this spiritual, non material, metaphysical sphere, and he's like flowing through it. He's succeeding through it. And he's kind of like, can you get me? Okay, I like the space a little bit. But like he was like, I was saying like, he's like, can you get me? And I kind of feel like I did feel before like this, like he might be married. This is very personal. I'm really sorry that it's getting really personal, but I feel like he might be married. But at the same time, now I feel like, can you get me? This kind of signals me, can you get me? Like, can you understand me? Kind of signals me, can you feel my creation? Can you feel my being? Can you understand me through what I create? It's like, it's important. It's important. He values it and he wants somebody to understand. Somebody to get it, get it, like feel it, do feel it. And it's like excitement through it. Excitement, being like called. Kind of feels like he might be calling someone in. He might be. Because through creation, if anything, I'm just gonna say like a general aspect through creation, we might call in like our soulmates. It's not new, right? It's just like the fact of the matter that is like that. We might. Yeah, he's very keen on like witchcraft, sorcery. He depends on like witchcraft, sorcery. This is the thing. This is a very interesting thing about him, by the way. The creator. That he depends on it because it's like if somebody of an actual witch or sorcerer connects to him, he might get more resonance. He might get more depth. He might get more insight. This is an interesting detail. I just call it like, yeah, karmic relationships. This talks to me about the distance in between Jujutsu sorcerers and different characters within the manga, anime. Talks to me about how different they view things, but at the same time, they're like, the plans look the same, right? It's like, aren't we the same? Aren't we on the same page? It's like the constant questioning, but it's right there. The answer is right there. It's like the constant questioning. It's like the constant discrepancy, the constant dissonance. The Hound, Four of Wands, and yeah, with Four of Wands, as I said before, I thought he might be connected to somebody. He might be married. I'm not sure, but yeah, I felt like that. Your life is a canvas. He's a powerful creator. He is a creator, even though his creation is ephemeral. Like this, I feel it's ephemeral. It's kind of like very meta, yeah, but it's structured but ephemeral, like transparent, transient, but it touches people with these like shattering glass, and it touches people. These crystals touch people's hearts and it irritates them, it triggers them. And in fact, frankly, he's meant to trigger it. It's like the crystal becomes dark. I see the crystal becoming dark when it triggers the person. It's meant to be sucked in like icicles, they melt into it and they become transparent. Oh, though that's not so good though, because it means that this explains though why he would need somebody as a witch or sorcerer to get through with this energy and to get connected, because then he could actually impact them much stronger, because when they're this transient and they melt into people, they don't get changed. People's souls don't get affected. as much as I could. They don't get changed. That's the main aspect. They don't get changed. That's interesting. I don't know if it's relevant, but I just saw Digital Daggers I Surrender song in front of me. Like the cover and the song was sounding in my head like oh, I surrender. Oh, I surrender. And I don't know if it's relevant. It might be relevant. Something might be relevant to it. Like I surrender. Connection is definitely the main thought, I'd say, of the jujutsu. Like connecting, like one part connecting and the other part connecting, and they merge. It's connection. And it's funny that the Digital Daggers in that album they have triangles and eyes within each triangle. So it's like they connect into one whole thing. And I think it's not even, it's not a joke. It's like, even the song of anime is like, you are special. So it's like, it is about connecting something with powers. It's all connecting, linking them both to like click, and it's suddenly true, it's suddenly real, it's suddenly so substantial, right? And it creates a huge blow up, a huge, like a huge boom. It's about the boom. Something about the boom. I don't know what, frankly. Maybe it's in my thought, like something about the boom. Don't want to spoil it fully though. So yeah, that was the reading, and I 7-7 when I looked at the clock. That's interesting. The time, I mean. Okay. So yeah, that was the reading, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was interesting because I felt inclined to do it. So yeah, that's that. That's what the. There's a lot of pain about Geto's character though. A lot. The love pain. Like he was so caring, and I feel it also represents, what, who it represents. I feel like it's felt through. I feel it resonates with somebody. Yeah, dark waters, if I might say so, dark waters, unexplored emotion, dark waters. It's felt emotion. One knows about this emotion, but it's unexplored. However, these waves and things. It's interesting because I saw a somewhat similar dream about like waves and water and then Titanic and submerging into the waters, and yeah, the ocean gate submerging to see the Titanic. Sometimes we submerge to see very deep things. I mean, I said as I submerged into the reading, but like, anyways, I hope you liked it. So, yeah, okay. Um, bye. Thank you for watching. See you again.